In your marketing module is where you create the communications that go out. So we talked about emails, workflows, sequences that can be automated to do work for the client. You can create the emails here. You can create a journey. You can create text mail communications. You can plan events. You can plan a forum. You can utilize the support community and look at all the release notes about what's changing. So typically when you get started here, you get started by creating an email. In order to set up a journey, a journey is typically, I want to create a web page or an email or some way of letting people know we're here that's going to have an automated, interactive drip campaign that's going to take actions based on the number of clicks, opens of an email, for example, based on event planning, based on a web page that people fill out. Journeys can satisfy any of those needs. This is also drag and drop. So if there's any pre-made email templates that I want to use for this, they will show up in this screen. And as a result of them showing up here, I can select them. If I want to, and the marketing module takes a little bit longer for the initial screens to open, FYI, because it's going out and grabbing everything I've done before, and it's using AI to present me with tools that have worked for me in the past, so I can leverage them again. In this case, I'm going to skip the templates, and I'm just going to show you how easy it is to build one from scratch. It's again, drag and drop. So if I want to add a text here, I can add an image here even. Let's do an image. Let's start with image. And I can build out what this email looks like by dragging in images, buttons, creating a QR code, setting a divider, adding a custom HTML, or building external content and building a content block. And that results in the emails that you send. It is all drag and drop. As a result of doing that, you are going to wind up with emails that get sent in an automated that you can leverage in a journey. Now, the cool thing about journeys is that you have two ways to build a journey. You can build a custom journey, or you can use AI to start your journey. And they give you a lot of different examples that you can leverage to choose it. So if I'm going to send a promotional email targeting loyal members, the system can already go ahead, take what it knows about using AI, take what it knows about doing that. You select your segment, which is your audience. You can create a new segment. We're going to make it a test segment. It's going to be contacts. And you can use the query assistant and tell them, who do I want in this segment? Or you can just create it and build it on your own. So we've got 251 contacts if I don't limit this segment in, and I could limit this segment by looking at and say, I only want contacts that were created in the last I'm going to say few months. I can add more filter criteria. It can be a behavior from a previous segment. I can specify contacts to include and exclude, and I can say this segment's ready to use. So as this segment saves, again, every aspect of Dynamics is not just doing the save that you typically do. It's also passing the data to AI so that the next time I do this, the system can tell me, oh, you already set up a segment similar to this. Do you want to copy it and expand on it? So this is now a segment that's ready to use. Now I can use this segment to create a journey. I can create a copy so I can create all my filters and all my different type of segments, or I can edit the existing segment. I'm going to use it to create my journey. I'm going to say, okay, I'm not concerned that I can't come back to this page. I have two types of journeys I can make. I can make a journey that's trigger based on something happening in the system, like a submit of a form, an abandonment of a cart that it was filling, a purchase being made, a new status, a new lead score, there's tons of different types of way to do this. In this case, we're going segment based, where I chose records that I want to send to. Now I can select the frequency of this segment. I can make it a one-time journey, a repeating journey done monthly or done quarterly, however we want to set that up. And I can designate to the system, when do you want to start this journey? And click create. Some very important attributes. The system, again, protects itself from errors. And you can see we're in the process of building a journey. So the next step can be an action. And the action can be sending an email, sending a text, sending a push notification. This email or text might be to the salesman as opposed to the customer. It can be anything that's needed as part of this journey. This can create phone call activities. So if somebody clicked 3 times into an email, a journey can kick in and say, automatically create a phone call record on this lead or opportunity for a salesman. It can also be just an email to a contact from a purchased list that can automatically create a call center to call a marketing call center, let's say, to call out and make a phone call because somebody's already clicked 3 times into the email and that person can be called. We can respond to an action. We can create branches. We can do A/B testing. We can send messages specifically using AI. We can hold an action for 7 days. And if they, let's say they click on a journey to complete a form and they haven't completed that web form, they leave it half completed. We can wait to see if they complete it in 7 days and then send an email or a series of messages prompting them to continue. So it's the marketing attributes that Dynamics offers in customer journey is very interactive. And we have an opportunity always to use AI and look at the in analytics related to marketing campaigns. We have not the analytics. I will show you screenshots of. I've prepared screenshots for you. They're built real time from actually leveraging this. And I will show you a couple screenshots before we close out. But in addition to you looking at the analytics, you can always look at the triggers. So these are all the triggers that are previously set up for you when you includes bouncing delivery, includes opting out. It blocks emails so you don't get blacklisted. It's a very rich tool that covers anyone's marketing needs. You can also look, marketing has a much more difficult time than most other departments of organizations, because they have a harder time tracking their COG, how they impacted the sale. So marketing gets to look at the leads that have been generated because the AI creates reports that show marketing's impact on the sale. The consent center is where contacts, email consent, phone consent. You can auto-gen opt-in emails just by creating them here. You can create, I was on the phone with a customer, they opted in, so they can do that here. You can create a link from a web page, or if you went to an event, you can actually import a consent list where they signed up from here. The channels include the emails that are being sent, the forms, the push notifications, and the text messages. You can also create social networking messages so that you create a new message and you can send it through a new channel, and that channel can be LinkedIn, it can be any of the social networks, Facebook, to actually interact and do the AI against it. What I'm going to take you now to is another environment where you can look at some of the rich dashboards. And while this is coming up, I do want to show you one more thing. It is very easy always to maneuver between your applications. So you can, with sales and marketing, you get what are called model-driven apps. And so your sales team member is going to be in the sales team member hub that we looked at. But if we look in here, in our sales hub, you'll see that you have an integrated view that lets you look at the life cycle all the way from its original marketing list and campaign through the opportunities. So it really depends on what app you're in. And some of the other dashboards that will give you a look at how you're doing is you've got your performance dashboards that come out of the box. You've got activity dashboards, you've got marketing dashboards. If you click on your sales hub and you go back to your customer insights, and you go back into analytics, you will see how AI is used to tell us how we're doing in our sales journey. And it really says who touched everything, what percentage, what the engagement rate was, what the push rate was, who left journeys and quit. And it gives you a lot of beautiful, extensive detail. So with that, I believe we want to leave a little time for questions. Do we have questions?
So we are open for questions now. If anyone has the questions, they can drop it in the Q&A. We'll be taking it one by one. So we have one questions coming in, Suzanne. So it's like we currently have HubSpot and we face challenges. How is this better? One of the participant is asking this. Can you answer?
HubSpot. So one of the beauties in Dynamics is it's drag and drop and it's very interactive. And HubSpot, while it's drag and drop, is less customizable for your needs. Dynamics is called Dynamics because it's considered really the modeling clay of the industry. When you go into a client and you start their work, you spend some time with them learning what their business is. And Dynamics is like modeling clay. Whatever your needs are, it's easy to model it and shape Dynamics to your needs. HubSpot requires a lot more customization to do that, and it's a lot less user friendly. There's limits on things in HubSpot, like how you integrate data, how you share data. The definition, everything goes into HubSpot as a contact. And it's more of a flat database where it's saying this contact is hot and is actually a lead, but it's not actually taking it through a relational life cycle where it's easy for you to see when it was just a contact, when it became a lead, when it moved. you've got to really use reporting in HubSpot to do those kinds of things. So it's a richer, more dynamic tool.
Okay. So like we are trying to take a few more questions, Suzanne. We have another question coming in. So it says like, what is the typical implementation time to implement sales and marketing if we are just looking out of the box? So can you take this question and answer?
So, implementation time really depends on the company's need. If you're basically out of the box, probably if you have to guess, it's probably a 3-month implementation time. But there are companies where we do phased approaches where we got them kicked off with sales, let's say, in 6 weeks. And then in the second 6 weeks, we did marketing or vice versa. So it really is a very specific to what your needs are question. And we do implementations that take 3 to 6 months as well, because some people want to implement the entire life cycle at once. So it really varies dependent on the company's requirements.
Okay. So anyone, if you want to also speak and ask a question, you can simply raise hand and I'll allow you to talk. But at the same time, like we have one more question, Suzanne. The participant is asking, how much time does it take for the implementation in Dynamics CRM? I think we covered this, but this question I think we did, Suzanne, already. How much time the implementation takes for Dynamics CRM?
So, I'll give one additional answer to that. There's a turnkey solution of just doing sales that we've frequently implemented in about 6 weeks
Yeah, right.
without customization. But
So,
typically a combination is at least 3 months or more.
mhm. The next question, Suzanne, is like, with all the AI buzz and general functionality, how does Dynamics stack up against other CRM solutions like Salesforce? Can you like highlight something about it?
So Salesforce, I've also done many Salesforce implementations, and I'll tell you that Salesforce is written on a proprietary language called Apex, and you really need developers to do most everything for you. It's more of a good choice for companies that don't need as much customization, and it's much more expensive typically because a Salesforce developer is minimally typically $250 an hour, and it costs much more to do an implementation, go live with it, and it's less. One of the beauties in Dynamics is once we get all your customizations done that you may need to make Dynamics meet your need, you are considered self-sufficient. You are able to manage it on your own. And Salesforce is less of an option in that realm as well. And Dynamics also seamlessly integrates with anything. There's a connector that you can use to integrate Dynamics with pretty much any other system you have. I even had a company once where the marketing department wanted Salesforce, and the sales department and the rest of the org wanted Dynamics, and we did a Dynamics integration to Salesforce. But overall, it's a more, again, the key word here is dynamic. It's a more dynamic, more easily adapted tool.
So I think like Susan, we have like covered most of the questions, and if any like this is the last gateway that we are taking away the questions, and if we do not have, I think we are good ahead. So just like I would like to say that if you want to discuss any like specific case, like the participants who are attending this webinar, you can like reach out to us, and we are more like you are most welcome, and we'll sit together and try to consider all the challenges that you're facing, and we'll try to solve the problems. So thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Suzanne, a lot for coming and joining us with as a speaker for this webinar. And I hope you guys have got really powerful informations, and we look forward to connecting you guys again in our upcoming webinars that we have lined up. So that's all for this webinar. Once again, thank you and have a good day, guys, ahead.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.